I'm Rebecca Kanaka, Carter County Extension Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources, and welcome to Around the Farm. Today we're going to be talking about the parts of an egg. Now, obviously, we have our egg shell that's very porous and allows gas exchange to go through the egg as an embryo develops. If you've cracked an egg before, you've probably seen the shell membranes, which are on the inside of the shell. And basically they prevent bacteria from entering our egg as the embryo develops, and then also helps keep the fluids that are inside the egg from evaporating before the egg has developed. Let's look inside of our egg now. Obviously we have our yolk, which contains our germ spot. And so that's how you can tell if an egg's fertilized or not, is by looking at the germ spot. I have 2 eggs cracked today. One is from a local grocery store and the other is from a local farmer. Eggs that you get at the grocery store are not fertilized, but if you're purchasing eggs from a local farmer, they may be fertilized. You can look at the germ spot in these eggs to determine if it's fertilized. A fertilized egg will have a ring around the germ spot like this one does, and an unfertilized egg will not. The germ spot, of course, is found on the yolk, which is the yellow part of the egg that contains carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, along with other vitamins and nutrients that the embryo needs to develop. The yolk is surrounded by the egg white, or the albumin, which also contains proteins and water that is needed for the embryo's development. The embryo is able to use the yolk and the albumin along with oxygen that it pulls in through the pores in the shell to grow and develop, and gives off carbon dioxide that exits the eggs through the shell's pores as well. You may have also noticed the white stringy structures in the eggs. These are chalaza and are a specialized form of protein that help hold the yolk in place. I've heard people say that they remove them when they cook with eggs, but you really don't need to. If you were to candle an egg, which just means to shine a bright light through it, you would also notice there's an air cell in the large end of the egg. The air cell is formed when the egg cools after it's laid, but it provides the first breath for the chick as it's developing. Candling is done by holding the large end of the egg near the light source of your candler. Candling allows for defects in the eggs to be determined prior to selling, so all the eggs in the grocery store have been candled to help determine the quality grade of the egg. Candling can also be done on eggs that are in incubation to determine the growth and development of the embryo. Now that we've learned a little bit about the parts of an egg, we're going to turn it over to our SNAP Assistant Senior, Anita Jones, who's going to talk with us a little bit today about the nutritional value of an egg and share a tasty recipe with us.
I'm going to be making an omelet on the go for you, a demo. First off, I want to tell you a little bit about eggs. 1 egg has as much protein as a serving of meat, as 1 ounce of meat. So for people who don't like meat, then they can get their protein from eggs. This is a delicious recipe. You can make it and serve it in muffins, or I'm going to do it in a 13x9 pan, which I've already sprayed. So let's jump in on the recipe. We need 1 cup of diced ham, 2.5 cups of chopped sauteed fresh vegetables such as mushrooms, bell peppers, tomatoes, and spinach. I've got probably closer to 3 cups here, but my family likes it and it's all fresh, so it's good. 9 large eggs, which I've already broken into my bowl. 1/4 cup of milk, which is here, and 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and pepper. So first thing we need to do, I've got my oven preheating now. Need to whisk up the eggs. And that wasn't just preheated. And we're going to blend in the milk and the salt and pepper. Get this mixed up good, and then next we will mix in all of our veggies. Normally, you would bake it 25 to 30 minutes if you were going to do the muffins. Now I'm going to mix in all the veggies and the ham, my 1 cup of ham. But where I am going to put it in a bigger pan, it may take a little bit longer. So I will let you know how long it took to bake this in the 13 by 9 pan when I show you the finished product after it comes out of the oven. Now let's kind of even it out. Okay, here's what it looks like going into the oven. Okay, our omelet on the go is done. It's in the 9 by 13 pan. It did take it roughly 32 to 34 minutes. So you want to keep that in mind if you're baking one in that size pan. Here's what it looks like, ready to go. One thing I did forget to mention, I did not put cheese in this. So cheese is optional. You can or you don't have to. One thing my kids and husband like to do is add cheese at the end. So cheese and salsa, and it's ready to go.
Thanks for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact your local county extension office.